To order, we'll start with the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. And I turn the meeting over to Kay for elections. Find the agenda.
So per zoning ordinance 5.3.2, in terms of the organization of the Board of Adjustment, the Planning and Environmental Services Director is the secretary of this board. And as such, we provide the agenda and the minutes. We all know it's really Ann Schwertel, not me, but she's in another room probably listening, so that's a shout out to her.
Okay.
So at this time, we'll take nominations first for chair and vote on that. And I'd like to open up the floor right now for nominations for Chair of the Board of Adjustment for 2023 to serve 1 year. Elizabeth? And well, take your pick. Jordan, go ahead first.
I would nominate Bob again.
Go ahead. Jordan. Other nominations from the floor?
I nominate Robert.
Any other nominations from the floor for the third time? All those in favor of Robert Reddick as Chair of the Board of Adjustment for 2023 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
I will accept them,
It's 3-1, Mr. Chair.
I guess.
Now we would like to take nominations for Vice Chair. The nominations are open.
Nominate Jordan.
Other nominations for Vice Chair? And for a third time, any other nominations for Vice Chair of the Board of Adjustment for 2023? If not, all those in favor of Jordan as Vice Chair, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? All right. Mr. Chair, you have your Vice Chair as well.
Okay.
Okay.
Thank you. And let's see, that's done. Okay, next order of business is approval of agenda as is printed here.
I would make a motion to approve the agenda.
Okay, Jordan has made the motion. Is there a second?
Second.
Second by Elizabeth. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. The agenda is adopted. The next order of business is the approval of minutes of the November 17th meeting. Long time ago. I read them through
Yeah,
and I didn't see any problem.
I'll make a motion to approve the minutes.
Okay, is there a second? Second by Elizabeth. Motion made by Jordan. Any discussion? If not, all those in favor of approving the minutes as printed, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All opposed, say nay. The minutes are approved. The next order of business is rules of procedure, annual review and adoption. Which I just signed. Prematurely.
Mr. Chair and Board of Adjustment members, staff does not have any proposed amendments to the rules of procedure for the County Board of Adjustment for 2023. And I did spring it on our legal counsel kind of at the last minute here, so maybe we just give him a minute to review it. See if there's anything that jumps out at him. These are the same rules that we've had, other than a cleanup of a couple of minor misspellings and things for the last 3 years. Thank you.
Well, I just scanned the history and it looks like we generally have been readopted. I didn't see any problems with them. I didn't read every rule. So someone make a motion to adopt the rules as they are printed right now? We don't have to, or?
Yes, please.
Okay,
Yeah, I would make that motion.
okay. Jordan has made the motion to accept the rules as printed now, and Elizabeth has seconded. Any discussion? Hearing none, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. The rules are adopted for the next year, this year, 2023. Well, let's see, we need to recommend someone to the county board as the liaison on the planning commission. Jordan, would you be willing to accept that?
Yeah, I'd be happy to.
Okay.
I didn't hear that.
Hold up. We need a person to represent us on the planning commission.
Oh,
And Jordan has served that for the last year. And the planning commission has to approve, right? Or the board or
the county board approves.
county board approves, yeah. So we recommend, so all of those in favor of recommending Jordan as the liaison from the Board of Adjustment to the Planning Commission, say aye.
Aye.
All those opposed say nay. Jordan will be recommended highly. Okay. Where are we? Petitions. We are looking at docket number BOA 11923, number 1, to consider the petition of Olson Solar Energy applicants and Vanguard Valley LLC landowner who seek a variance regarding the following: to allow construction of a ground mount solar array 54 feet from the center line of County Road 1 instead of the required roadway setback of 130 feet pursuant to chapter 10.5.1 B and I of the Winona County zoning ordinance. Is there a presentation?
There is, yes.
Okay.
I do want to make one comment too while we're on the agenda screen. It was noticed as 54 feet from the road center line. It has changed to 71 feet, as you'll see in the
Okay, that's
presentation.
my question. Yeah.
Yep. I think I can change it. Yeah, put it in there. Okay. So an overview of the property, it's along County Road 1, which is Apple Blossom Drive, Dresbach Township, Section 29. You can see it's outlined in red on that larger map, and then I-90 is to the northeast.
Yeah, that's probably right.
So this is one of the site plans that the petitioner submitted. Again, it's Olson Solar, and they're applying on behalf of the landowner, which is Vanguard Valley. The individual is Quinn Seston. So you can see where the array is in the blue outline, closer to the roadway. They have the buildings outlined in yellow. The array is 77 feet long, I believe, and it's 71 feet setback from the road center line.
Is it from where, the 71 feet is from your arrow on the left-hand corner on the bottom?
It's 71 feet to the closest corner of the array.
71 feet, okay.
So it'd be the bottom left corner.
Right.
Yes. Next slide.
That shed that's there, how far is that?
I couldn't tell you specifically.
Yeah, I just wondered if there was
It's probably,
precedent.
it's less than the setback.
It's less than the
I think-
setback.
Well,
right.
from the, yeah.
Just reviewed that. I believe that's 74 feet, and that was approved in the late 90s. They did apply for some variances. Actually, they were denied, but they came back through district court on a challenge and
I can't
appeal.
hear you.
The setback of the shed that you see is 74 feet, and that was essentially dealt with in the late 90s.
So this is another version of the site plan that Olson Solar submitted. It gives the distances from the property lines, and you can see the bottom line is the road center line. So that shows that 71-foot distance. So this was a staff-created site plan. It shows the normal roadway setback in the pink. So you can see that the proposed solar array is within that roadway setback, which is why they're applying for a variance. Some of the considerations of the site, the residence has been there for a while. It's rural heritage zoning district because of that established residence. The ground mount solar array for residential would be considered a permitted accessory use. The roadway that it's located on is considered a scenic byway. And the proposed array location, as you'll see in the following photos, will require a little bit of vegetation removal in order for that array to get the sunlight from the roadway. So you can see here, the picture on the left is looking towards the north, towards the array. The stakes are circled in red there. You can see kind of in the middle of them, in the middle of the two red circles, there's a green stake with a white cap. That's the road right-of-way marker. So the road right-of-way extends 50 feet from the center line. They're proposing that they're going to be 71 feet. And Highway Department did comment on this because originally when it was noticed, they were applying for a 54-foot setback, and Highway Department recommended that they be farther away in order to work through any potential road construction projects and have that be far enough away to not inhibit them. So this is looking to the east. You can see the shed in the distance. On the right-hand picture, you can see the stake closest to us and then circled in red, and then beyond that is the shed. So this is looking the other way towards the west. You can see the stake in the foreground and then circled again in red. And then if you look you can see up onto where that roadway runs through for County Road 1.
The land slopes off to the north.
Yep, it slopes down, yes.
That other picture, was that the bluff in the distance? Showing, you have a picture further back and through the trees, you could see something. Was that the distant bluff? Maybe go back.
One more. Yep, so you can see the
Oh, yeah.
the bluff far, yep, the
Okay.
far away one.
Yeah, okay.
And then you can see the river actually cut through there in that
Way
corner.
in the distance, okay.
Yep. So this is looking up, well, to the south, but looking up onto the roadway again, where that array is going to be placed. And again, they did move it back off of the road based on the county highway review of the site plan.
Which end of it is that stake?
That's going to be the closest.
Okay.
Yep. And you can see right there that all that vegetation in between the array and the road would have to be removed in order for them to have direct access to sunlight.
Would it be visible from the river or the road below?
So the road would be above it. One of the conditions that we are proposing is a landscaping and vegetation plan. So that would help kind of blend it in and not make it stand out so much from the roadway.
What about the road from the river? From below the bluffs? Nobody is.
I think it would be difficult to see from that far below. I didn't analyze it from I-90, but
I just could see the river and the bluff. That's
Yep.
And there's trees and things there.
yep.
Just curious.
So they did attend the Dresbach Township meeting. Dresbach Township indicated no comments on the project, and that form is included in your packet. So the criteria and findings, the reason they proposed the solar array in this location is because it took advantage of that direct sunlight adjacent to the roadway. We have found that the request meets the A criteria for granting a variance. So our recommendation would be that the Board of Adjustment should consider all materials and testimony before making findings that support your decision. Our analysis and draft findings do support granting the variance. And should you decide to approve it, we've drafted 4 conditions for your consideration. The 2 at the bottom, number 3 and number 4, one was a soil and erosion control plan, just given the topography of the site. Then the other one was the landscaping plan, which would help blend that array into the landscape a little bit better.
Where, did you receive any, I see on the petition, there wasn't any input or response from neighbors?
We did not receive any public comments.
Okay.
We just received we reached out to the county highway department,
Right.
and that was the
Okay.
written comment.
Any questions for?
With the solar array where it is, you mentioned they were gonna have to take the trees out to the road. Assuming they probably have to take some all around it, like what kind of the dimensions of the area they're gonna have to clear out for the best solar?
It would be around it. I met the landowner out there when I was on site, and he talked about, wanting to restore it with the native vegetation to kind of support the plan he has for his property. They just purchased it recently, so he wants to keep it as natural as possible. I don't have an exact dimension of what they're proposing to clear, but we would consider that when we look at their landscaping plan, should the variance be approved.
Any other questions? If not, thank you.
Thank you.
And we consider a motion to open it to the public.
I make a move.
Okay, Elizabeth have moved
I'll second that.
and Jordan has seconded to open to the public. Is there any discussion? If not, all those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. The petition is open for public comment. Is there anyone who wishes to address this petition? For the second time, is there anyone who wishes to address this petition? Comments, questions? And for the third and final time, is there anyone who wishes to address this petition? If not, I'd entertain a motion to close the public meeting. Okay, is there a second?
I'll second
Jordan?
that.
Okay, Elizabeth has made the motion to close the meeting to the public and Jordan has seconded. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Aye. All those opposed say nay. The meeting is closed to the public and open to the board members to discuss it. I think one thing I really screen it really well would be plant trees in front of it. I think we should plant trees in front of the collectors because that would screen it from the road and the
And
sun.
the sun.
I'm just kidding, of course.
First time late.
Is the petitioner available? Okay.
I guess
Go
one
ahead,
thing,
Elizabeth.
the only thing I thought about, yeah, you said the road is above it? Is that what they said?
It looks like so higher than, of course, the array will actually be up on ground mount, but it'll be off the ground several feet,
Um,
3, 4, 5.
and they said the
depending.
soil is, an erosion and sediment control plan must be put in place. And
Oh, yeah, there's
you
the
also
picture.
said that you've got to remove trees to be able to do it, which will disturb that, and so I guess my question is how much of the mature trees will have to be removed to be able to get access to the sun the way you want it?
It's a good question.
Hi,
but
this is
it
Booker again
appears-
with Olson Solar.
Okay,
Sorry if I'm cutting in. I'm sorry I'm late again.
no, that's fine.
One thing too,
It's online.
when we're cutting down those trees,
Olson, the one that's going to do it, is online.
when we're cutting down those trees too, they're gonna leave the root system there. And then he also plans on planting shrubbery and whatnot around that area to prevent the erosion further, and then whatever else is required as well.
Yeah, okay,
I have
go
a
ahead,
question for
Jordan.
the
Yeah.
petitioner. Did you create a proposal for this petitioner to use the roof of the shed at all, or the garage that's near the road?
I do not have anything for the garage.
It'd be pretty small, I think.
Yeah, I guess
Yeah.
I would just like to
Yeah.
know what would fit there.
Right, yeah. As far as the county engineer doesn't seem to have a problem with 65-foot setback. Would that be appropriate? They're asking for 71, but that would give a little more leeway that maybe wouldn't have to set it back as far as cut down as many trees. I mean, the main concern would be, and if there's no input from the neighbors and the town board doesn't seem to care, we maybe should give them the leeway to go closer.
Where is the screening gonna go then?
Well, you won't have any screening in front.
So the Apple Blossom Scenic Byway of the state of Minnesota is that road. And the plant material screening would be between Apple Blossom and the solar arrays.
Yeah.
And if you move it closer to the center line, there will not be room for the screen plantings.
But will it still be 15 feet from the fence line?
That would be staff's standpoint. Thank you.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess I'd like to mention that the solar projects that we've approved on the planning commission on Apple Blossom Drive have all required screening,
Mhm.
For that reason. And there was a lot of pushback from neighbors regarding
Oh, okay.
being able to see solar panels, which
Okay.
to some
Yeah.
people like me, it doesn't really matter, but to
Right.
other people who live there and pay taxes there, it does.
It's like pig manure, yes.
Yeah.
Money for some. How far, do you remember how far the setbacks were on others? Were they fairly close to the road or were they,
Well, it
On
wasn't
the
a
south side of
setback
the road?
issue then. It
Yeah.
was just a,
yeah, just a general view?
yeah, because they were much larger.
Like the backside, yeah, or
Yeah.
something, yeah, yeah.
Well, I know too that the arrays are sitting about 6 feet lower than the road down that hill. Like it's quite a steep slope. And then it
Yeah,
kind
that's
of
what it
levels
looked
out.
like. Mhm.
And so if you were to go far enough to meet the setback, it would be shaded most of the winter, I'm assuming.
He would lose half a year of
Okay.
solar.
So does the board generally think that going with the requested setback was it 71 feet is appropriate?
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
I think that's as
I mean,
good as
I
it's gonna
just,
get,
yeah,
really.
but I guess if you've had, pushback from other times where, because it will be, I mean, there's really no way to hide it from the road.
No, and then,
Because, if it was on the other side with the back to it, then it's easy to screen it, but and it's not huge really.
yeah,
It could be a lot bigger.
yeah, there's like
To get the
multiple
minimum, yeah.
megawatts up there, so, yeah, it's,
This one is residential and it's relatively, it could go up to 40 kilowatts or mine is about 4 times this size. And it really isn't
Does
that big.
the landscaping just cover the area they're taking out the trees, or does it cover like the whole property front so that it like blends together? Or is it gonna be like a noticeable chunk that they realize is when you drive by, it's like woods and then, oh, this is obviously there's something here kind of thing, or is it just?
So if you need staff input, I'm happy to
Oh,
provide
I'm
it.
sorry, I thought maybe the gentleman who was doing the solar array was supposed to know that answer. I'm sorry.
So they have to submit a landscape plan for approval to this department.
Okay.
So if they want input on it, what Jordan Potter was talking about was if there's a curve in the road, if there's an angle, if there's, where neighboring dwellings are located, where neighbors across the street are located, what the slope is and the soil types. Those are all factors that would be part of it. It isn't required that it be screened from the property owner's residence. So that would be, empty from that side, if that helps. And of course, if you have questions, obviously for the petitioner, thank you.
And the road is relatively straight here, right, from what I can see? Yeah, so. Well, any other discussion? Would anyone be interested in making a motion? Okay. With all the conditions?
With
all the conditions, okay. Okay, Elizabeth has made the motion to approve with all the conditions. Is there a second? Kelsey? Okay, all right, Kelsey seconded. All right, is there any more discussion for the motion? I've read through all the findings and I really don't find any major problems. Okay, hearing no discussion, all those in favor of granting this petition as written and with the conditions, say aye. Aye. All those opposed, say nay. The petition is granted, and I will read as soon as I find it. The appeal to the district court, all decisions by the Board of Adjustment in granting variances or in hearing appeals from any administrative order, requirement, decision, or determination shall be final, except that any aggrieved person or persons or any department, board of commissioners of the jurisdiction or of the state shall have the right to appeal within 30 days after receipt of the notice of the decision. An appeal to the district court in the county in which the land is located on questions of law and fact. Any party that would like to submit an appeal to the decision rendered at the public hearing must do so to the district court. Planning and Environmental Services is not responsible for filing the appeal or obtaining representation by the counsel for the petitioner. And the next order on the agenda is, I don't know. Where are we? Oh. Are we ready to adjourn?
I would make a motion to adjourn.
Okay. Kelsey, will you second that?
I'll second.
All right. The motion was made to adjourn by Jordan and seconded by Kelsey. All those in favor say aye. Aye. All those opposed say nay. It passed by the skin of your teeth. Thank you all.